Okay, so we get a connection, someone connects with us, we've done a really good job, we've sent out 50 connection requests. Look, there's a whole science behind this. Personally, I like to do it twice a week. I like to do it Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock. The people that are responding, I'm talking to them on Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock onwards, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I'm saying good morning. So there's so many ways I do it on Wednesday and Friday. But that's just my take on it. But it's very, very effective because I'm having a conversation with them live. Anyway, LinkedIn, optimizing it. How do I optimize the conversation? Well, the first thing is, we want to be thinking, how do I convert a LinkedIn connection acceptance into a meeting? That's our goal, yeah? Phase one is we send out connection requests. So maybe we do 10, 20, 30, but we should be doing them every couple of days, but on a weekly basis, a certain number will get me a certain number of conversations, which will get me a certain number of appointments. So phase one is I send connection requests. It needs to be targeted and it needs to be the right people, okay? Phase number two is I then, when they accept my connection, I give them a humanized response, yeah, right? Okay, so I come back to them in a human fashion and I talk to them as though I was having a conversation. I look for commonality and I look for interesting things about them that I can have a conversation, okay? They will ideally respond to me on the back of that. Does that make sense? So I'll send I'll give you some examples, but really appreciate connecting on LinkedIn. The weather's looking great out there, Monday morning, and we're all buzzing and ready to go. I noticed on your profile that you're doing this and this. It's really interesting, that article that you wrote. How did you find the response was from people in general? Off we go, yeah? It's a conversation, okay? Have a conversation. They will respond, okay? And then I would ask for a meeting using the sentence. The reason that I reached out is that after reading your profile, I saw that you were doing this, this, and this, and thought it would make sense for us to maybe see if there's any collaboration between us as businesses. Are you free next Tuesday or Wednesday? And phase 7 is metrics, okay? So we want to keep a good track record and we want to keep metrics and keep a control over what we're doing. So how does this look, yeah? Well, first of all, the introduction, there's 3 parts to it. One is nice to meet you. So, it's great to meet you. Appreciate you accepting my connection request. I've read the profile. I understand them. It's a human response. I am not going to regurgitate a cut and paste message. I want to say, I read your article, or I noticed you went to the school, and I'll explain some of the different ways of doing this. And then I want to have a conversation starter. I want to ask them a question. From there, let's break it down, personalize it, humanize it, read the profile, look for commonality. Don't do a long blabber message, all right? Don't pitch them on your product at all, yeah? Think of the concept of starting a conversation and finish with a question. This is an example, dear Ashwin. Many thanks for accepting my connection request. Singapore is a small world and LinkedIn is fantastic as it helps us collaborate better. Was going through your profile, noticed that you've been in financial world for a long time. How is the industry at the moment? He came back, he responded, and I had a good conversation. This was on the 25th of August. This was a real message, and this went to a meeting. So when I'm looking at their profile, there's 6 commonalities that you could have with them, yeah? Something about them that's interesting, yeah, right? Something about their education or the company they work with is in common. Maybe they've got a friend that right, that's in common. Something about their industry that's relevant to them. I would come back to the friend thing. You need to actually know the person that you've got in common well, okay? Don't just say, I notice you know Bob Smith and you don't know who Bob Smith is. You need to know something about an article that they've written and something about a post or an article that they've shared, okay? So take your time, read it. You only need one of them, right? You're starting a conversation, so you don't want to be too imposing, okay? So that's how you do LinkedIn. That's how you start it off. It's very simple. You have a conversation with someone and you start a conversation. I'm going to explain to you in the next session, in the next video, how to convert that into a meeting.